Hey guys, welcome to a channel, or welcome back to a channel where we talk about things. My name is Katie and I'm a wedding photographer here in the lovely state of North Carolina. And today I wanted to share some tips on how you can start building your wedding photography portfolio when you have never done a wedding before. I feel like I need like a new intro. I feel like I always say, and in the lovely state of North Carolina. Like, should I keep that? I feel like I should change up my intro a little bit. Maybe I'll do that eventually. So we are talking, you have decided that you wanted to become a wedding photographer and you have no experience. And the advice is going to vary a little bit, so I want to start out if you really don't have a lot of experience in photography, building up to you have some experience but you're really trying to break into the wedding sphere. So the first thing, if you have no experience really with photography, especially weddings, and you're really trying to build your skills, the first thing I would do is purchase, and this will cost money, I would purchase like fake engagement and wedding rings. Well, this isn't fake, but I would purchase fake ones from Amazon or, honestly, like Walmart, really cheap looking or just really cheap rings, and practicing flat lays. And if you could get some like wedding invitations, maybe you've attended a wedding and you keep the invitation, do some invitation suites, like purchasing a bouquet of flowers at the grocery store, and you have your Amazon rings and you put those together and you practice some detail shots, because first that's going to help you build up your skills in photography. Learning manual mode is really important. Learning about lighting, especially in an indoor setting and also an outdoor, you can take those details with you. You can take those details with you inside, outside, and just kind of start expanding your portfolio with those. And it's a really easy way to add those pictures to your website because you did take them. So it's very low pressure. You're kind of doing it in your free time, you're learning, and it is a great way to display, these detail shots, these ring shots, and start building up that wedding portfolio. Second thing, if you are a bit more comfortable, is try to attend a styled wedding shoot. I did a whole video about my experience at my very first styled shoot, and it was truly amazing. I think you can go if you are a seasoned, very experienced photographer and also a newbie. These styled shoots are essentially like a fake wedding. So I've been to one where a local photographer kind of organized it all with models of a bride and groom. Sorry if you can hear Murphy chewing his bone. You have models that are posing as the bride and groom, you have detail shots that you can play around with, and it's really just a portfolio building experience, and also just trying out new things and gaining more experience and being more comfortable in front of a camera. So I think if you're inexperienced or experienced, you can greatly benefit from a styled shoot. But if you are looking to attend one, they do tend to cost money, but the price really ranges. I think mine cost like $75, but they could range into the hundreds to maybe even $1,000. It's going to depend on your area, but if you are looking into going to a styled wedding shoot, make sure to check out my video. I'll link it down below as well as up in the cards about my experience, things I wish I would have known or did differently, and just kind of what to expect when you're going into a styled shoot. So if you are a little bit more comfortable behind your camera, you know how to shoot in manual mode, or you're just really looking for that in-person experience, if you know anybody that is engaged, whether that be a friend or a family member, offer to do a free engagement with them. This is going to be operating under that you have no previous portraits experience or anything like that. You're just trying to build up your portfolio. I feel like you're chewing your bone louder on purpose. Yes, this advice is definitely operating under that you do not have any prior photography experience. Maybe it was just a hobby and you took pictures of your kids. You've never been paid for your photography before. Maybe you just created your business and you want to do weddings or something like that. So I would offer a free engagement session to people you know. I wouldn't necessarily advertise it on social media because you never know who you're gonna get, but if you know, like have a friend, family member, whoever that's engaged, just offer to do a free engagement session with them. It helps build your portfolio. They get more photos, and you just get to practice more with a real couple. And that's what I did. I did more engagement sessions before I ever booked a wedding. I did a couple free ones. I did some for like $20, and it was all just to kind of build up that portfolio, because again, you get real people and you also get to do some detail shots with their engagement ring. So again, building out that detail shot portfolio. I find that to be a little bit more versatile. I can use that on my engagement session page on my website. I can also put on my wedding page on my website. So it's a little bit more versatile. But yes, if you know anybody and you want to give out free engagement sessions, or even a reduced price engagement session, if you are like kind of already a bit more experienced, or you've been paid for your photos before, it will really start getting your foot in the door and helping you figure out poses for your couples. It will really just give you that experience, and then you can use that into your portfolio. And the last tip that I will the last thing I will say is ask to be an associate photographer or a second photographer at a wedding. I mean, let's go big or go home, okay? I don't think if you have zero experience, you should try this. I don't think that at all. I think it's kind of a progression. Maybe start practicing with detail shots, attending a styled shoot, doing free engagement session, and build up to, hey, I want to be a second photographer or associate photographer. Some photographers will even let you be the third shooter, if that could be an option for you. I started out doing second photography, like I was a second shooter for 2 photographers, and that was like the best thing, because you get to learn from the lead photographer. You definitely make it your own style. I mean, I wouldn't copy the lead photographer. I don't copy either one that I worked with. Not that that's bad, I'm just different than them. So, but you get to learn how they treat the timeline. You get to learn, what to include in a timeline, and just get real wedding day experience before you start booking your own weddings. And hey, maybe you like being a second photographer forever. That's not a bad gig. You don't really have to edit the photos you don't want to edit. It's not a bad gig. The way that you could reach out to some local photographers is joining Facebook groups. I am a part of several. I think I've mentioned it nonstop in these videos that I've done. I am a part of local photographer, North Carolina, the Carolinas, photography groups like that, and also the KJ education group, like Photo Boss by Joy Michelle. I'm a part of a lot, okay? And a lot of the times they'll post that they need a second photographer or associate shooter, and you can comment that, or honestly, if you're this ballsy, can I say that on YouTube? If you are like that, you can just contact photographers directly. Some people really love to teach and help smaller photographers grow. Some people will reject you. Some people will reject you and maybe even be offended. They're not your people, okay? Looking for a photography mentor or just somebody that you can second shoot with, I think is obviously a great way to build your wedding portfolio. But to me, that's kind of one of the last steps before booking your own weddings and building your portfolio that way. Again, if you don't have any experience, start getting comfortable behind your camera. And I will say, I've said it in my other video about the styled shoot, doing that, like I attribute second shooting, my first wedding being booked, all of that to that styled shoot, like 100%, because I got to build my portfolio from real people posing as bride and grooms. Like you get to pose them, like people, you can really see how your work would look on an actual wedding day. So I think if you want to start with the details, maybe doing a styled shoot, give out free engagements, just get as comfortable as possible and get as much experience as possible behind your camera, shooting in manual mode 100%, shooting in RAW, don't shoot in JPEG, getting all that experience, and then asking to second shoot a wedding or be an associate or an assistant to a photographer. So I just listed 4 ways to start building your portfolio. If you want to get into wedding photography, obviously this is wedding specific, but I do want to say things not to do, and I want to make a whole video about this, but I'm just going to add like a couple things not to do at the end of this video, okay? So first, do not spend any money on the knot, the wedding wire, any of that. Especially if you are new starting out. I was so tempted to just get my name out there, get on the knot, the wedding wire. It's not worth it. I actually never ended up doing it because of other people's experiences. People who are like wedding photographers full time say don't even bother with that, at least at first. No, I can't tell you. Maybe later down the road, it's a really good revenue stream for your business, but just starting out, don't do that. Like honestly, the money, you're not making any money currently. So really you're just spending money with hardly any experience, if not zero experience. It's not worth it. Don't do that. Don't do it. And another thing I will say do not do is thumbtack. I actually signed up for that when I was first starting. I didn't even know if I wanted to do weddings at this point, but I signed up for it, and honestly, you have to pay for that too. Okay, that's one thing. You have to pay for that too, and it just funneled like random people through, and they take a cut. Like again, if you're just starting out, I would much rather have reached out to people on my own and offered them free sessions than going through thumbtack and trying to get booked that way, especially if you have like zero to no is the same thing, little to no experience being a photographer, or bless you, goodness, especially if you have little to no experience being a photographer and being comfortable behind the camera. Don't even bother with those sites, okay? Just start small and start, posting on social media and building up that clientele. I wouldn't jump straight into thumbtack, the knot, wedding wire, any of those paid things right off the gate. Or right off the bat, I can't speak today, right out of the gate to try and just get people to build a portfolio. Don't do that. Like start getting comfortable and building up to the weddings, and then maybe reevaluate the not wedding wire. I mean, I don't know about thumbtack. If you want to reevaluate that, it's up to you. I mean, live your life. These are just my opinions, okay? So that is it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram and other shameless plugs, and I'll see you next time. Bye!